Hello and welcome. My name is Pankaj Dubey, and in this video we are going to talk about test planning. So here we'll see that what are the things that is considered as part of the test planning, how to make a test plan document which will be supplied to the stakeholders and the test team and the test manager. So let's begin with the test planning document. So a test plan is a document that describes that what and how to test something in application under test. So broadly, if you see that you will have to take a decision that what and how the testing is supposed to be performed for the given application or for the builds that you have received. So making of a test plan is very first step in software testing life cycle, and it defines the rules, covers the scope, analyzes the available resources, softwares and hardwares, also analyzes their timelines and risks associated with the testing of a project. Test plan document follow the below mentioned steps to make a good test plan. So you will have to analyze the business requirement first. So once you receive the requirement, you will have to properly understand it. So go thoroughly the requirement, write down the issues, clear with it with the stakeholders so you can take the better decision if you have a clear picture of the requirement. Then it will be further followed by the finding objective of the testing. You will have to find the objective of your testing. So what is the objective, what is the goal that you need to achieve as part of the testing, and then define a strategy to achieve that objective. Analyze the risk. I mean it could be in the form of any form of tools, resources and the time. Setup of the environment and test data preparation, and then define the entry and exit criteria, define the traceability matrix, and define the schedules and timeline, and make sure that what are the things that you need to deliver as part of the test closure activity. So the very first thing is you will have to analyze the business requirement, and the points are: understand the requirement by going through the requirement document, note down the and resolve your queries, get a product or document reviewed so that you have a clear picture of your business requirements and the business functionalities, so that you can be sure of that how many test cases needs to be written for that requirement, what will be the time required to execute those test cases, what will be the tools and the hardwares will be required to execute those test cases. And then you will have to find the test objective. The objective of the testing is finding as many valid defects as possible and ensure that the software under test is bug free before it is released to the live environment. In this phase, you need to find out the core motive of your product. You should need to know the features, the smooth performance of your application, and there is no security threats. So this is the objective of your testing. Now you will have to define a strategy. So test strategy defines the software testing approach to achieve the testing goal. Usually the strategy document is created by test manager, and it says what type of techniques to follow and which modules to test. Strategy can be defined that how to get maximum requirement under testing umbrella by putting minimal effort, what sort of testing you need to perform, and what tools and technologies will be required to test the requirements. Next is you will have to analyze the risks. So if you're working on any project or any product, then there are chances of many risks occurring during the development or the testing phases. So find out that do you have available tools required for testing. Next, find out that do you have required skills to test. Find out if you have enough resources to complete the task in any given time frame. And what will happen if some resource resign during the period of testing execution, and you sort of left with no skilled resource in your team, then how will you execute your testing? Find out that you have sufficient time to complete the testing. So always keep some buffer time so that if something goes wrong, you have some time to recover from that and achieve your testing goal. Test environment and test data preparation. So test environment is also called test bed setup. It means laying down all the needed softwares and hardwares required for a tester to execute the test cases. In In order to work on something or to process any request, a tester needs some data which they can place as an input, and they can perform the testing activity on that data, and they can verify the output whether it is matching with expected result or not. So always you will have to prepare and set up the environment, and you will also have to make sure that you have available test data to perform the testing. Define entry criteria. So entry criteria is the prerequisites that must needs to be fulfilled before test team can begin the testing. In most of the places, smoke sanity testing is defined, and the cases of smoke sanity must be passed as the condition of entry criteria. So smoke sanity testing is checking all the major functionality of your application, so the testing team can proceed ahead with other sort of testing that needs to be executed on the requirement. So let's say if you're taking an example of a website, so the smoke test case will be something like that. Your URL is accessible, you can register and log in on your web application, because there are many requirements that cannot be tested until you are not a registered and a logged in customer. Okay, and let's say there is a e-commerce website. In that case, payment is going through successfully, and there may be certain other instances that needs to be passed, so the testers can do their testing. Define the exit criteria. Exit criteria are some conditions that must be fulfilled by test team before they can conclude their testing activities. Like the test coverage should reach 100% of traceability metrics. All test deliverables are shared, and many other things, such as verify that all business requirements are covered as part of testing, and there are no critical bugs are in open state. Define traceability metrics. The requirement traceability matrix, or RTM, is a document that maps the business requirement and test cases to trace the coverage of testing at any given point of time, and to ensure that no requirement is missed as part of testing. So it is always necessary to make sure that the coverage is as maximum as possible, and there is nothing which has been left as part of the testing. So for that thing you need a requirement traceability matrix. The main purpose of requirement traceability matrix is to see that all test cases are covered, so that no functionality is missed as part of testing. Define schedules and timeline. So what used to do, test manager will have to divide the application or the testing phases, and they need to assign the responsibility to some dedicated person with a given deadline or time limit, so that they can complete the task in a given time framework and deliver on time. Test deliverables. So in test planning document also you have to ensure that what are the deliverables that you will have to deliver as part of the testing. So test deliverables are the documents, scenarios, test cases, test scripts, test data, screenshots, and bug reports that is shared once you complete the testing. So these are the things that you will have to share with the stakeholder as part of the deliverables. So that's all in test planning, and next we'll see test designing, where we'll see what is test scenario, test cases, and test script.